Hey there, welcome to Matt's Garage and meet our 1947 International KB5. So if you're not familiar with International brand of trucks, they built, they still build heavy trucks nowadays, but that's kind of a different brand altogether. But they used to be a huge manufacturer of farm equipment and light trucks like this one. And they were a pretty big brand back in, probably in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and I've long been obsessed with them. They quit auto production in, I believe, 1984, 1985, something like that, mid-80s there, but they built some really beautiful trucks back in the 40s. As you can see, this is about my favorite truck ever built, period. And so I've long dreamed about owning one of these KB series Internationals. The 47 to 49s are the KB series. Back when I was about 10 years old, I used to walk by a pickup version of this truck every day. I still have a picture of it. I was just obsessed with it, and it was actually for sale. And I tried to buy it, but it kind of sold out from under me right before I saved up. It was only $500, and I remember I had $460 some saved up, and I was that close, and then it sold. I didn't have the guts to make an offer on it, so I was waiting until I had the full 500, and it sold in the meantime. And so I've dreamed of owning one ever since, and so here we are. And another thing is, the very first vehicle that I ever remember riding in was, in fact, an International Scout that my dad had. So I have a lot of good memories of this brand of vehicle. And me and my son Nash here are planning to restore this one, and we're going to put a wrecker body on the back and make an antique tow truck out of it. So I hope you'll enjoy watching that on the channel here. We're going to have a whole build series on it. I know we have a lot of projects, but this one's going to be a bit of a priority because I'm kind of obsessed with these trucks, and because Nash is able to help me with a lot of it. Like, he's going to do pretty well all of the frame restoration here. So this is him after 2 partial days working on it. He's got this all stripped down and ready for paint on this rear beam already, using just this cheap corded drill and a wire wheel. And this old metal is so good that it just doesn't develop like a thick layer of scaly rust like modern metal does. Like, this is, pure 100% American steel here. Nothing is recycled. There's no impurities in it, and you can see there's no hardly any pits or anything. It's just like brand new metal still. But of course, when we get to the actual body work on the cab and everything like that, that'll be done in the original, which looks like a royal blue, I'd say. I kind of rubbed the spot with some oil up there. It looks like it's going to be like a royal blue. Anyways, we're going to do it original, and then the step boards, of course, which are just beautiful. Look at this beautiful design in them and everything. They look like they were black. And the other day I just went around and I oiled up the door latches and everything, and well, aside from that, that's just some binding metal there by the hinge, but I mean, it just works like new still, 73 years later. The door catch is missing on this side, so we have to be careful, and you can see the cylinder head is off. It looks to me like we can probably work with this engine here. It's a flathead 6, a green diamond. If not, they're pretty easy to come by. But I think we'll be able to, someone's already taken the head off, and everything looks not too bad. It's lightly seized, but I'm sure we're going to be able to get it broken free and running again. Me and Nash were just noticing, like, the tank is spring mounted. We just thought that was really cool. And then I was looking in the cab. It's also spring mounted. So I mean, 73 years old, and all I've got to do to restore the body mounts is sandblast and paint them, and they'll be as good as they were when they were new. If they were rubber, they'd be totally toast. They'd be all dry rotted, and I'd have to toss them away and spend $100 and some on new ones. Just another cool detail I wanted to show you is, look at that. Stamped right into the housing or cast into it or whatever. You can see, I was noticing, you can't quite notice it at first, but if you're feeling it, there's actually quite a prominent body line that runs down the top of the fenders. Kind of reminds me of the D-Series Internationals had a really prominent, like a super sharp body line here. And I never realized before that the Ks and the KBs still retained some of that, so that was interesting. Always loved this body feature here on the side of the hood. I just love the way that looks. And then of course the little winged grille that they added for the KB, the Ks never had this. So of course I've got a few missing grille pieces I gotta get, but look at that emblem. Looks like brand new pretty well. So that's pretty cool. And then we've still got our bumper fillers. You know, these things are commonly missing. The bumper, I guess some would say it's pretty messed up, but I can definitely fix it, so I'm not worried. I'm just happy it's here. And this is pretty common. I mean, farmers always added these on here so they could tow it behind their tractors and stuff, and so that's no big deal. You can see this one still has the crank hole, and that's actually something that International retained, I think, all the way into the 50s, maybe even into the 60s. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. Just a really beautiful truck all around. We've got all 4 of our hubcaps. This is the worst of them, and I think I can fix that somewhat. Just beautiful looking wheels all around. Of course they're the old split ringed ones, so we'll have to be careful with that, but I have some ideas for working with those. And then again, this step board's really nice. The other one has a little rust on it, like maybe it had some leaves collected in here at one point or something, but this one's just beautiful. And again, that beautiful, you know, design in there. They didn't have to stamp that in there, but they made the extra effort, just like on the back of the cab with these beautiful body lines back here. Of course they were to reinforce the cab, but they took the extra time and made them stylish. And that's what I love about these old trucks, and particularly the Internationals. They're just beautiful. And one thing that really attracted me to this particular truck is it doesn't have a bunch of welding on the frame. It does have a few spots like this where there was something mounted to it, and somebody did a really clean job of cutting them off with a torch. And I can pretty well just grind these down flush. There's a couple areas where they bit in where I'll just have to weld it a little, but that's not a big deal. You know, same thing, it's got grease nipples on all the spring shackles and stuff, and all that stuff seems, you know, tight. This wasn't a worn out truck when it was parked. By the look of it, it probably was just, you know, antiquated. A lot of these old trucks got parked just because they needed a brake job or something really simple like that, and it just wasn't worth keeping them on the road. So it's sure gonna be a cool little, it's just the right size for a tow truck, I think, for what I have envisioned. It's a 1.5 ton truck, and oh, I'm just really excited about it. I'll try and drop a picture into the video of what I've got envisioned, and we're gonna build it from scratch is the idea. So if a vintage International tow truck sounds like a cool project to you, nice father and son project with a puppy involved at some point, go ahead and subscribe and stay tuned. I can't promise how quickly the updates on it will come, but I can tell you this is not one that I'm going to be letting go again anytime soon. This one's part of the family now, so you can be assured we will get to it eventually. If I don't get it done, the little guy will get it done, so you can be assured it will get done. So thanks for watching Matt's Garage. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourself a great day.